In a world of horror, countless hours of cinema, what is truly terrifying? What will keep the kids up at night? What scene can never be unseen? Join us as we watch everything horror and discover the 13 degrees of screams.
Welcome to 13 Degrees of Screams.
We're your hosts, Stephanie.
And Alex.
And this week we get a haunted mask fused to our face in Goosebumps The Haunted Mask.
So, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Had you seen The Haunted Mask before we watched it for the podcast?
Yeah, one time you made me watch it.
I did?
Yeah.
When?
Like back in your apartment, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Because I didn't watch Goosebumps when I was a kid. Not really.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, that sounds correct.
Yes. You're obsessed with curly beef.
Curly beef. Did you like it when you watched it then and or now?
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
What do you mean it's fine?
The acting is a little weird.
No, it's great. What are you talking about? What's weird about it?
I'm Carly Beth.
Carly Beth. That is prime acting from Catherine Long. How dare you?
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
How dare you? Just fine. Did you like it the second time more or about the same?
Maybe less.
Less?
I'm sorry.
Less?
Because I knew what was happening. First time I was surprised, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't a Goosebumps kid. I'm sorry. Doesn't mean that I don't love that for you.
No, you hate me and everything I enjoy.
No, I don't.
Woe is me.
You good? Alex has passed away.
This is Stephanie's podcast now. It's fine. It's fine.
I love that you love it. How about that?
I don't believe you.
I do.
I don't believe it.
No, I knew as soon as we did a Goosebumps episode, you'd be here, bells on, and you'd just be like, yeah. Do it.
Not only, yeah. Okay. So first of all, to talk about the fact this is a show and not a movie, so I appreciate you letting me do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an anthology, so it's not like we watched one random episode of a show that like has an overarching plot.
Mm-hmm.
I will say a lot of Goosebumps episodes, despite me loving them, are not great.
Yeah,
they're so cheesy. But Haunted Mask is one of my favorite pieces of media ever.
It was like the first one ever, right?
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, because that's what I saw when I streamed it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the first one ever.
It was the first one ever.
But
I don't like this energy. I don't like this energy. It's fine.
No, sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I'm just trying to tell you, like, I didn't like to be scared as a child. So.
No, I know. I'm giving you a hard time.
Yeah. No.
I grew up with Goosebumps. So
okay,
it's a nostalgic piece of me. It's fine. You don't like it that much. But, okay, well, let me clarify. You don't like it or it was just okay? Because there's a difference.
I don't like it. I think it's okay.
Okay.
I would let other people watch it and stuff like that. I wouldn't say don't watch it.
Okay.
Especially if you have nostalgia for it. I just didn't have that, is all.
That's fair.
Like, I watched So Weird a little bit. Maybe Are You Afraid of the Dark? But I don't really remember any of those because I don't like being scared.
Because said the host of a horror movie podcast.
Yeah, but I was... Okay. The biggest thing for me when I was little was one of the first movies I remember watching is Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
And I was afraid of the witch for a very long time.
Okay.
So just to get the idea of how I went mentally into life for like probably the next 10 years. I mean, I wasn't scared of her for 10 years, but like...
The mentality.
Yeah, the mentality of anything was scary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. No, it's fine that you're not a huge fan. I just love this.
I will say that I do like the Dead cast with the brothers that do the Goosebumps.
Oh, the Terror Twins?
Yes.
Matthew Scott
I've listened to several of their episodes, and I like the episodes that they do for their Goosebumps podcast. I've listened to several of them.
Yeah. Years and years ago, when I was first thinking of podcast ideas, I was like, I could do a Goosebumps one too. My first thought, actually, was like a kids' horror type situation, like Goosebumps, Sorry for the Dark, Courage the Cowardly Dog, stuff like that. But here we are, just doing actual horror. So
yeah.
But anyways, I love Goosebumps, The Haunted Mask. This was my pick for sure. And just one of my favorite things of all time.
Yeah. Should you talk about the mask?
What about the mask?
You are obsessed with the mask.
Obsessed?
Like, you have...
Obsessed?
You have, like, the mask. You have it.
I do.
And you have, like, a little clay thingy of Carly Beth's head and stuff like that. You're, like, really into it.
Let's clarify. It is a replica of the plaster of Paris head of Carly Beth. I'm just kidding. If y'all just saw her
La-di-da.
I'm just saying, it's just not the head of a 10-year-old girl.
Oh, yeah, no. It's a replica.
Yeah, no. So if you go to Amazon.com and you could buy a cheap replica of the mask for about $40. Mm-hmm. However, color-wise, looks absolutely nothing like the mask itself. So what I had done was painted it to be a little bit more authentic.
Yes.
And it resides in my apartment.
Yes.
On a little stand. And then, yes, I did make the Carly Beth head from the episode. Because
you have to. Those are like bookends. They need to go together.
Well, so the only reason I did is because I ended up cosplaying it in person.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't actually going as Carly Beth somewhere. What?
I think you would have.
No, I wouldn't have, because I hated doing it. And the only reason I did it is just to fulfill the thing. Because it doesn't look good.
Well, it doesn't in the show either.
It looks better than what I did.
Okay.
I'll post it. I think I did. Didn't I post it?
Probably a while ago, but you could post it again.
I'll post it again. I'll post it every week. But no, I did not enjoy making the Carly Beth head. I just needed it for the actual cosplay. But yes, I have the Haunted Mask in my room. Actually, funny enough, when I stream, I have a redeem. So like when you stream, you could for called channel points. You could spend channel points, and one of them is I have to put on the head for 10 minutes and play video games or something.
Oh, okay.
With it on, so
that's fun.
Yeah, Curly Beef. That's what we call her.
Curly Beef.
Curly Beef. Are you ready to get into some show background?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Slay. Okay. The Haunted Mask is the feature-length series premiere of the television series Goosebumps, based on the book of the same name by R.L. Stine. The episode revolves around Carly Beth, a timid girl who purchases a Halloween mask that mysteriously begins merging with her face. It originally aired on October 27th, 1995 in the United States on the Fox network and was viewed by 7.9 million households. It was a big deal. Goosebumps was huge. You know what? Goosebumps is still around. I don't know if you knew that. Books are still coming out. But, I just remember being a kid at that time and just, how big Goosebumps was.
Yeah.
It's, the best-selling book series or something of all time or something like that.
Oh, really?
One of them. It's, up there with Harry Potter or something.
What about, Magic Tree House? I read that. I know that's not the same.
Magic Tree House. Who?
Magic Tree House.
Whomst?
They went to different places in the tree house. It was fun.
Boring. No, I do know what you're talking about. My cousins had those books. But no. Mr. R.L. Stine. He's in his 80s.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, that makes sense, actually. Because he's, in the very beginning of the episode, and I'm like, oh, you're not exactly who I thought you looked like. But,
really?
Yeah.
He is 80, exactly. He was born in 1943. He's from Ohio.
Oh, nice.
He used to, actually, I'm going to go into all this. He used to start by writing funny books, joke books and stuff.
Okay.
And then eventually he merged into, kids horror, but he still tried to keep, comedic elements with it, so.
All right, I can kind of see that.
This ain't about R.L. Stine. This is about Carly Beth and her mask.
Yes.
So it was filmed in Canada. It aired on the YTV network, garnering almost 3 million viewers and becoming YTV's highest rated episode. Catherine Long, who portrayed Carly Beth, received a Gemini Award nomination for Best Performance in a Children's or Youth Program or Series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she slayed. She was the best.
Yeah, I know. You're a defender.
The episode's popularity led to its release on VHS on March 12th, 1996. Which Billboard ranked as the 75th best-selling home video of 1996, which I own, by the way. By August 1996, over 2.5 million units of the VHS had been sold. The concept for the Haunted Mask originated from R.L. Stine's son, who struggled to remove a Frankenstein mask. The book was well-received, featuring on bestseller lists and being described as ideal for reluctant readers and Halloween-themed sleepovers. So this is just a little fun fact I found. During the filming of the memorable scene where Carly Beth bites into a sandwich containing a worm, the production team initially planned to use a rubber worm. However, at the insistence of actress Catherine Long, she requested a real worm to be used instead. That decision led to the scene needing to be shot 12 times to achieve the desired outcome.
Scariest scene in the whole show.
A worm!
A worm. Honestly.
For real.
For real. I don't like bugs. Don't like bugs at all. Don't like being close to them, knowing that they exist around me. One time when I was a kid, a child down a table from me, and the cafeteria bit into an apple and found a worm and made like a face, and he was like, and I was like, wow, I have to excuse myself. Really? I have to leave the premises, honestly.
So you're not cool with worms either?
No bugs. No, nothing.
Not even like a butterfly?
No, not really.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. When I was a kid, I used to take worms and put them in my pocket. And then I would go inside and there'd just be worms everywhere.
You sound lovely.
One time, I remember doing this for whatever reason. I heard how worms have multiple parts or something. I don't remember. And they're like, if you cut it in half, it'll regrow and make 2 worms. So I took a worm and cut it into 20 pieces. And I was like,
you mutilated it.
I'm like, okay, I can't wait for my 20 worms. And there was just a worm corpse cut up on a plate. It was on a paper plate.
Aww.
But I took scissors.
You sound like a real treat.
I think this is probably the last episode of this podcast.
I'm sorry.
Stephanie's just owning me.
Only roasting you as a child.
Damn. Stephanie roasts 7-year-olds in her free time.
Sounds right. Honestly.
She pushes them down when she sees them in public, too. Hide your kids! Stephanie's got to push them down the stairs.
Oh, not all of them. Just
the ones who cut up worms.
Just the worm kids, apparently.
Stephanie would have taken my lunch money growing up.
No, it would have been full of worms.
No, I didn't eat worms, you sicko.
It would have been in your pockets with the worms. I wouldn't have taken your money.
Nowhere near my lunch.
Okay.
Separate. Stephanie's a bully.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm. No. Okay. Last fun fact. In 2012, R.L. Stine said that The Haunted Mask was his favorite Goosebumps episode. I will say, so Haunted Mask I love. I also really enjoy Stay Out of the Basement. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, we've talked about that one before, actually.
Oh, we covered it!
On our last podcast.
That we did. Yeah, that's also sometimes tied for a Haunted Mask. It'll flip.
Yeah.
Depending on my mood.
It's a good one.
If I want a really Halloween-y one, Haunted Mask, but I just love the concept of Stay Out of the Basement, which we talked about already.
Okay.
In a long forgotten podcast.
Are you ready for the plot?
Yes.
Carly Beth and her friend Sabrina are on their way to pick out a pumpkin for Halloween when they notice a novelty shop with strange masks in the window. And as soon as they walk away, we see there's a mysterious shopkeeper watching.
Stranger danger.
Mm-hmm. At the pumpkin patch, Carly Beth reaches for a pumpkin when a hand reaches out of the ground for her. She screams as 2 people wearing carved pumpkins on their heads surround her, but it's just 2 of her classmates, Chuck and Steve.
I just imagine that they were laying there all day. Mm-hmm. Just I really hope Carly Beth comes here tonight to get a pumpkin. Yes. They've been doing this every day for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, they're it's near Halloween. It's got to be happening sometime.
One of these days. It's a couple days before, or the day before even.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they finally get their pumpkin. And I'm just Chuck and Steve, were they following them?
Right.
Well, she did say that they were following.
Maybe. I think Sabrina's the girl on the inside.
This bitch, you think Sabrina's actually?
I think Sabrina isn't threatened or worried about them because they only scare Carly, so.
Oh, I was thinking Sabrina's I didn't know, I swear. And secretly she knew all along.
Honestly, I feel I don't know if she's trying to purposely be Carly Beth is going to be here.
Yeah.
Attack her. But.
Get her!
But I feel she could be one of those friends that me and Carly Beth are going to go get pumpkins and...
That'd be crazy if you were there ready to scare her or something.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It'd be so crazy.
No one would expect that at all if you didn't. Sabrina's a fake friend. What a bitch.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I like Sabrina.
Yeah, no, she's the reasonable one here.
Funny enough, so Carly Beth's actress is named Catherine Long. Sabrina's actress is named Catherine Short.
Oh, interesting.
And it's opposite because she was shorter.
Yeah, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, both Catherine.
2 Catherines. Okay. Chuck and Steve are always trying to scare her because, according to Sabrina, she's easily frightened. But by the next day, Carly Beth's had it after they put a worm in her sandwich.
She's fucking had it.
She is angry.
Yes. She tears up the duck costume. We don't even talk about the duck costume.
Oh, I just said I'm going to get to it. Hey, that's the next sentence, man.
Angry she runs home. Oh!
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, we didn't mention it prior to, so I was like...
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Oh, sorry. So at home, her mom gives her a duck costume. That was before that happened. And then she comes home and she's mad at the duck costume.
The duck costume is very important. It appears in the second one, okay?
Oh, okay.
The iconic duck costume.
Okay, got you.
Oh, we should watch part 2.
We did, didn't we? There's a part 2 to this.
No. There's a haunted mask 2 as well. It's about Steve.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you about it off podcast.
Okay, sure.
She's over it.
Why not? Does part 2 have a part 2?
Yeah, so that's a 2-parter too.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. That's confusing. Steve's edition.
Steve's edition.
Anyway.
Steve's story.
Right.
That's the subtitle.
Okay. Angry, she runs home and rips up the duck costume her mom made her, then goes to the novelty shop to buy a mask to scare Chuck and Steve. In the store, the owner keeps several hideous-looking masks hidden in a back room. It's like a science lab kind of thing. Like, there's chemicals and stuff. Mm-hmm. So not your typical, like, Halloween store vibes.
Wait, you mean Halloween stores don't normally have a mad scientist lab in the back?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, everyone I've seen has one.
Well, you've been to more than me, so maybe.
For sure.
So he refuses to sell any of these masks to Carly Beth, but she steals one and throws her money at him. At home, she uses the mask to frighten her brother, Noah, but has trouble taking it off, and both are unsure how she unintentionally changed her voice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Noah deserved it.
Yeah, no, he was kind of...
Noah sucks ass.
He was a pain in the butt. To complete her new ensemble, Carly Beth takes a mold of her head that her mom had made. I'm like, this is a weird thing to make of someone. Yeah. Like, I made a bust of your head. Love you so much, honey.
Yeah, like a heart could have done.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know.
And it wasn't even like a gift. I think she just kind of made it and was like, this is now something that we're going to keep in the living room.
Oh, also, we didn't mention, at the beginning, like when she first sees it, that thing smiles.
Oh, yeah, it does.
No explanation for that.
Right.
It's that terrifying, though. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine just like walking out of the corner of your eye, you see that, like the mouth go,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's ever so slight. That's what makes it unsettling.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just like, for a second, hi. I'm like, the hell? Right. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Why is it smiling? No explanation for that.
Carly Beth's mom's into the dark arts and she's putting her soul in there or
she
something.
She looks it, though.
Honestly, maybe. Yeah.
She gives off those vibes, right?
Kind of witchy.
A little witchy.
Yeah, okay. So she takes this mold that her mom made of her head and puts it on a stick to carry around, so it looks like the monster beheaded her.
Hell yeah.
She then sneaks out before her mom can realize she's switched costumes and meets Sabrina at her house. Immediately, Carly Beth starts acting a fool. No.
She's doing the most.
She is like, wow, you didn't have to do any of this. She's acting differently by harassing other children, throwing candy on the ground, and destroying Halloween decorations. Like, they go up and ring the doorbell, and like some little kids answer the door, and she's like, "I'm gonna kill you!" It was a threat. I don't remember exactly what she said.
She said something like, "You better watch what you say to me, or you'll get what's coming to you."
Yeah.
So more or less.
Yeah, because the mom was like, "Go away, we're gonna call the cops."
She calls her old bag, not to her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Carly Beth's not feeling herself.
No.
Well, she's feeling herself, but she's not herself.
In her villain era.
She's in her villain era, for sure.
Yeah.
She's the worst right now.
Sabrina becomes concerned for her and wants her to take off the mask, but she runs off to find Chuck and Steve. In the cemetery, she forces Chuck and Steve to apologize on their knees, may I mind you.
What a boss bitch.
I was like, wow, girl, you tell them. And she makes them apologize to the mold of her head for scaring her. They are
It's so absurd when you say it out loud. Apologize!
Apologize to Carly Beth. Wait, what? You're Carly Beth. No, apologize to her.
But she's not Carly Beth.
So obviously they're terrified and run away when the mold starts to plead for them to help her. So, which is like, what? Again, their mom is in witchcraft of some sort.
Yeah.
It must be. That's the part 2 of this mask story, is we have to understand why Carly Beth's mold head talks.
Like,
is it just because she's wearing the mask that she can just talk to anything that has a mask?
I don't know.
Or a head?
There's no explanation. I did read the book, and I can't remember if it does that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember. The book's really good.
Oh, okay.
There's this one scene in the book where, like, she's going trick-or-treating, and this guy answers the door, and he has her, like, go into a back room, and there's, like, this guy's, like, comatose, watching TV, and they're like, look at her costume, and then she leaves, and it's the most bizarre thing. Isn't that weird?
The guy is comatose but watching TV?
Well, he's, like
a vegetable
responsive.
kind of
thing?
Okay.
Like, and there's no explanation for that scene. It just happens.
Oh.
Isn't that weird?
With her, like, weird mask thing? They just...
Yep.
Oh.
I have to see if I can find the quote. It is wild. I'm like,
okay.
It's just so random and unsettling.
Yeah.
Like, come into the back room.
Scare this man out of his coma, I guess.
Yeah, no. But anyways, that was weird. Yeah, Carly Beth's head talking by itself. I can't remember if that's either in the book or explained.
Okay.
But it should just be talking.
Yeah.
She's like, girl, help. I'm stuck on this pole.
She buries the mold there and returns to Sabrina's, but when she tries to remove the mask, she's unable to, as it seems to have become part of her skin.
Eee.
Yeah. Goes all the way down her chest.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we can't see
it. Gone. There's no seam anymore.
Mm-hmm. She goes back to the mask shop to find the owner waiting for her. The shop owner tells Carly Beth that the mask is a real face, one of many that he carved for himself and then turned hideous over time. He even says, like, his own face is a mask, and it kind of, he has, like, some sort of weird, like, I would call it a rash.
Bumpies.
Little bumpies, but I guess that's also a mask because what's underneath is too hideous, he says, to show.
Yeah. It's like how it's like kind of how he lives forever kind of a thing.
I guess.
So he makes these faces and they just turn bad after a while and he makes a new one. I'm just like, why don't you destroy these?
Yeah.
Like, you could just burn them or something.
Right. Yeah, I guess I could.
They don't have to be around anymore.
Yeah.
Unless he has an attachment.
They turn evil.
Right. It's like, these are my babies. It's like 7 of them.
Yeah. He warns her to be quiet and that the only way to remove it is with a symbol of love. And it's like kind of on the cusp of be quiet as in like you're kidnapping her now, or because it kind of feels like 1 second away and Carly Beth's going to get loaded into a van with the mask or something.
Well, she's already in the building, so.
Kinda.
No van needed.
No, not really. Carly Beth begins to cry out in horror, awakening the other masks who begin to pursue her, and they're just floating in the air. Kind of reminds me of Winnie the Pooh when the elephants on parade kind of float in the air.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the effects are not great. It's kind of like they're floating. You could tell it's like superimposed, obviously, and the way they do it, there's like blurry. It's blurry.
Mm-hmm. So you don't know if they're like coming after her fast or really slow.
Right. It's very slow because she's stuck at this freaking door for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, kind of.
And then the masks are just slowly making their way.
Carly Beth.
Join us, Carly Beth. And I'm like, what is their goal?
Right.
Like, once they reach her, what are they going to do?
I don't know. They just do a little dance together.
They're just like, back her with their... Like, what are they going to do?
I don't know.
What kind of harm can these masks do?
Right.
Unless, grotesque, they like somehow rip the mask off Carly Beth somehow with their teeth.
Oh,
they don't have teeth. They're masks. I don't know. I don't know what their plan was, but they chase her.
Yeah. Well, because it's attached to her now, so maybe they're going to just take the mask back, and then Carly Beth will have no head.
Oof.
Or no face, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No. We won't know. Chased by the other mask, she runs to the cemetery and digs up the mold of her head. Carly Beth uses the mold to deter the other mask and is finally able to remove the mask from her face. She returns home to her mother, tossing the mask near the door. Carly Beth is horrified to see Noah wearing the mask when she turns around.
Noah, that sucks. Yeah, I don't remember if you mentioned, but the shopkeeper says if you put it on like 3 times, that's it. Like,
oh, really?
once it's on the 3rd time, you can't get it off regardless. So like that implies Noah is screwed.
Oh, I thought it would like start over brand new because he's a new person.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like 3 times period.
So Noah's just stuck that way now.
Yeah. He's not though, but that's like the twist. It's like Noah's screwed.
Oh, I thought it was like a new person. It's 3 times.
No, I'm fairly certain it's just like 3 times.
Oh, damn.
Just overall. But I did want to mention, so there's more in the series, like there's Goosebumps, the 2nd part. And then there's one called Scream of the Haunted Mask, which is part of like the newer Goosebumps books that came out not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Goosebumps Haunted Mask Most Wanted. This mask, this scene, this starts off this book, this kid's book, mind you. This guy puts on the haunted mask and it fuses to his face, and he rips it off, and they describe like his skin coming off with it, and blood pouring out of the mask.
Oh.
Yeah.
For children.
For children. I didn't actually finish this book yet, but
that's
how it starts.
Grotesque description.
I'm like, wow, Goosebumps got really hardcore in the last 30 years.
Right.
So
Goosebumps is like, read Goosebumps and then you can watch Saw. Like,
no, yeah. If Goosebumps came out today, it'd be like that. Yeah, but I think there's like 4 haunted mask stories.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll be continuing them. We need to know now.
Okay. So, what did you have it rated?
I rated it as a 2.
I put it as a 3.
Okay. Well, since it is for kids, I wanted it to be lower for, people that want to try it out.
Yeah.
So, I guess rationalize your 3.
The 3, I feel like this, for a young kid, could be traumatizing a little bit.
For, like, under 5, maybe.
So, in terms of, like, kids' media, though, I don't know what else would be too much scarier before. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it is a 2. I don't know. I just know, like, your husband is afraid of it, so...
Oh, yeah, well, my husband's not a good example.
I'm just saying.
But, I don't know, I guess I just have to go with a 2, because I feel like... Where's a 3? Like those Nick at Night movies or something like that might be, like, the 3s where they're closer up on the whole, like, scary scale for children to watch, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, I mean, you don't have to rationalize. I just think some of it is disturbing enough. I think it gets the 3. I
think, okay, so what age do you think could watch this without being, like, totally messed up about it?
Probably, like, 7, 8. It is intended for 7 and up.
Okay.
So...
I didn't know if there was a rating.
Yeah, it's TVY 7, which is still, like, still kids, but I think before 7 might be a little... Much.
Yeah. Yeah, probably if I watched it at 7, I would be like, I'm not going to put on a mask. You can't make me.
I will not do it, and you cannot make me. So, I don't know. I think a 3 still makes sense to me.
All right. I'm still going to go 2, because I feel like there's other things out there that kids could technically watch. Like Ghost, for instance. Ghost is creepy, but I liked it growing up. Like, I watched it maybe when I was like 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like that was...
So you think Ghost is scarier than, like, this? Or just in the sense it's more mature?
Scarier in the sense of the things that come out of the ground and take people to hell.
Okay, I can see that.
And more mature.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because there's also the realm of, like, those PG movies that are, like, you can still watch with the family, but...
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I think, okay, no, now that you say that, because, like, PG-13 movies can definitely be kid-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to drop it too.
Like,
you made a good point.
Because I used to watch, like, those older movies with my mom, like Ghost and Sleeping with the Enemy was one of them, too. Like, there are, like, intense thriller-esque themes, but not really a lot of violence or anything.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree now. Now that you meant... Because in my head, when you say PG-13, I just automatically go to, like, 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, I watched movies of all ratings when I was a kid, so... Yeah, okay, I agree. I will give it a 2.
Okay. I'm glad I talked you down.
Off the ledge. It's not that scary, I promise. Are you ready to talk about our topic?
Yeah.
So, for the topic, I thought it'd be fun to talk about Halloween costume origins.
Ooh.
So, I got my information from the article called From Pagan Spirits to Wonder Woman, A Brief History of Halloween Costumes. And this is from CNN.com. So it starts off by talking about the origins of Halloween costumes and how it could be traced back over 2,000 years to the Celtic pagan festival of Samhain. It marked the end of summer and the beginning of a darker half of the year in the British Isles. During the festival, the Celts celebrated the harvest and the commencement of the Celtic New Year, and then also celebrated the thinning of the boundary between the physical and spirit worlds during Samhain, and how it allowed spirits to pass through, leading to the practice of wearing costumes and masks to either honor them and invite home ancestors, or to disguise oneself as harmful spirits to avoid harm. So, like, they would wear costumes and be like, "I'm scary, leave me alone. Like, don't mess with me."
Right.
Or, on the other hand, to talk to dead relatives and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
This ancient tradition has evolved over time into modern-day Halloween festivities that obviously included dressing up in costumes, trick-or-treating, and other celebratory activities. It was believed that during the festival, the world of the gods also became visible to humans, resulting in supernatural mischief. Ooh. Some people offered treats and food to the gods, while others wore disguises, like I already mentioned, such as animal skins and heads, so that wandering spirits might mistake them for one of their own. So actually, Christianity adopted October 31st as a holiday in the 11th century as part of an effort to reframe pagan celebrations as its own. So, like, it's not paganism. It's fine. It's Christianity.
It's always been Christianity.
Yeah, for sure. So instead, the name Halloween, of course, derives from All Hallows Eve, or the day before All Saints' Day, November 1st. But many of the folkloristic aspects of Samhain were incorporated and passed on, costumes included. In medieval England and Ireland, people would dress up in outfits symbolizing the souls of the dead, going from house to house to gather treats or spice-filled soul cakes on their behalf, which is a Christian custom known as souling.
I want a cake.
Yeah.
I want a spice-filled soul cake.
A spicy cake.
A spicy cake.
Could you imagine doing Halloween now and getting cakes? Like whole
I'd love it. Honestly. Well, then I'd be worried about people putting weird shit in them.
Yeah, for sure. Razors and apples.
I heard that was mostly superstition, though.
Yeah, I think it was like more of an urban legend type thing.
But you don't know how clean people's houses are.
Not very.
Like, you don't know if they're the family that, like, lets their dog lick the spoon or whatever, and then they just, like, keep on going.
Licking the cakes. Here you go. Use some spitty cake.
Yeah.
So, from the late 15th century, people started wearing spooky outfits to personify winter spirits or demons, and would recite verses, songs, and folk plays in exchange for food. This practice was known as mumming.
Oh.
So then the article kind of talks about American influence. So as the first wave of Irish and Scottish immigrants began arriving in the U.S. in the 18th century, Halloween superstitions, traditions, and costumes migrated with them. Once Halloween entered American culture, its popularity quickly spread, according to fashion historian and director of New York University's Costume Studies MA program, Nancy Deal. She states people in rural America really embraced its pagan roots, and the idea of its dark occasion centered around death. She said in a phone interview, they wore scary, frightening get-ups, which were made at home with whatever was on hand, sheets, makeup, improvised masks. Anonymity was a big part of the costume, she added. The whole point of dressing up was to be completely in disguise. So no one knew.
Yeah.
You could do whatever you want.
Right. Well, because, like, the tricks was a part of it, though, too. It wasn't just about getting candy. Yeah. It was about doing weird shit.
Yeah, we get there. Briefly, we kind of discussed it. By the 1920s and 1930s, people were holding annual Halloween masquerades aimed at both adults and children at rented salons and family homes. I want to go to a Halloween masquerade so bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound fun?
I'd love to just do a masquerade at all, because I like Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I could see just doing that. That'd be fun.
Yeah. But in Halloween would be immersion.
Mm-hmm.
During the same period, there was a rise in popularity of costumes inspired by popular culture, coinciding with the establishment of the first significant costume manufacturing firms. One such company, the J. Halpern Company, also known as Halco, located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, began obtaining licenses for the use of images of iconic fictional characters such as Popeye, Olive Oyl, Little Orphan Annie, and Mickey Mouse. This shift marked a significant evolution in the way costumes were designed and produced, reflecting the growing influence of popular culture on Halloween attire. So quote stated, people also became fascinated with impersonating characters at the fringe of society, adding that pirates, gypsies, and even homeless people became common outfit choices.
Ooh.
Could you imagine, like,
offensive?
Yeah, offensive, and also, like, why?
Right.
Like, it could be anything. And
Yeah.
you pick a homeless person.
I guess.
That's rude.
Uh-huh.
And also, like, I don't know. Don't do that.
Mm.
Don't go as a homeless person, please.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, I mean, even like gypsies and stuff too. Don't do that anymore.
Yeah, don't do racist things either. But yeah, no, I don't know. I guess at like a certain point too in Halloween, especially once you get to a certain age, you don't want to be a character anymore. Sometimes it's just kind of like be whatever works, you know?
Yeah. Just
one time I was like a singer, and I was just like, "Yep, that's what I decided to be because I want candy."
Our one friend, if she listens to this, she was a tree one year.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
I get it.
I was a cow one time, so well, why not?
Yeah.
Let's be a cow. What else was it? What are some other random things I was? I don't think I did too many random outfits. I was Hercules one year, pirate. I think cow was probably the most random one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to be a cow. What are we doing?
I was a ladybug one year, but I was little, so I didn't control that.
Oh, okay.
A cowgirl, a vampire, a witch. That's about really all
classics.
I remember. Yeah.
Okay, those are all pretty normal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. Continuing the tradition of old practices like souling and mumming, Halloween pranks became a common phenomenon in North America, sometimes to the point of vandalism and rioting. By the mid-1940s, the press had dubbed the night's anarchy, or its broken fences and smashed windows at least, the Halloween problem, quote-unquote. The costumes may have partially enabled that behavior. In an attempt to deter vandalism, authorities at both local and national levels sought to reframe Halloween and the act of dressing up as a pastime more suited for younger children. So as a notable example of this, the Chicago City Council made a decision in 1942 to eliminate Halloween and replace it with Conservation Day on October 31st. This move aimed to shift the focus of the day towards activities that were more wholesome and less associated with potential mischief and damage.
Stop breaking our stuff.
Yeah,
it's
please.
Scary and expensive.
I'm scared and now I'm broke. Stop. Oh my God. So generally speaking, the 60s marked a shift in the way we dress up for Halloween. Grown-ups in particular started ditching masks and full-on coverage, opting to show their faces. Costumes became a way to play a lighter, special version of oneself, showing the world the you, Wonder Woman, or Luke Skywalker, or what have you. And then the end of it was just saying like how people dress all scantily clad these days.
Ah, yes.
And I'm like, yeah, cool. That's, yeah.
In Disney World specifically, when they do dress up for Halloween, they specifically say that grown-ups cannot wear masks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a strict rule that they cannot be in any sort of like character costume or anything like that to prevent children from getting taken and stuff like that too.
That's good. Yeah, that's just a brief history of Halloween costumes. You can watch like YouTube videos of people recreating like old costumes. Mm-hmm. Those things were so scary.
Yeah. Trick-or-treating in the old days would definitely not be for the faint of heart, especially like little old me, like especially with like adults out trick-or-treating. Like I would be like, no, that's not me. I'll be inside reading a book.
Yeah, like in the article, they'll cover you like head to toe in like a makeshift sheet. So it's just like so unsettling just to see like cutouts in the eyes and the mouth. And it's like, what are you? Yeah. What is happening here? So
I had enough trouble walking past kids that were dressed as Ghostface. Like I was like, oh no, they're scary.
I'm scared. Yeah, I'll probably post some like examples of old Halloween costumes, but I encourage everyone to go look at some of them because it's so radically different.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoy the show and listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, giving us a 5-star rating is super helpful, and we always appreciate it.
Spotify users can now comment on our episodes, so we'd love to hear from you on how we're doing, and you can find us on social media using 13 Degrees of Screams.
This has been 13 Degrees of Screams, and we will see you next week.
Do, 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 do.
Do, do, do.
Do, 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 do.
Do, 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 do. Okay.